with tariffs, premium tariffs, but we'll have a little bit of a session in this video as to what that means, what it looks like, what's happening, and what could potentially come about from there. So make sure you stay tuned right until the very end of this video. And of course, thank you for being back with me on the Crypto Bliss channel and community. I truly appreciate you blessed and wonderful souls. Let's delve right into today's content.
Implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations. It's been a long time since we even thought of that. We used to think about it a lot. We didn't think about it for many decades, and you see what's happened. For nations that treat us badly, we will calculate the combined rate of all their tariffs, non-monetary barriers, and other forms of cheating. And because we are being very kind, we're kind people, very kind. You're not so kind when you got ripped off with your salaries. My auto worker friends and my Teamster friends and all of the unions that typically voted Democrat, they're not voting Democrat anymore because worker, whether union or non-worker, they're for the Republicans now. That's what happened. But we will charge them approximately half of what they are and have been charging us. So the tariffs will be not a full reciprocal. I could have done that, yes, but it would have been tough for a lot of countries who didn't want to do that. I'd like to see the chart if you have it. Could you bring it up, Howard? This is our great Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. So if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset? They will be because we never charge anybody anything, but now we're going to charge. European Union, they're very tough traders. You think of the European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see.
So when Trump means business, he's specifically saying he's actually being very kind. We're going to delve into the tariffs and what that looks like in a short little moment. Not that you really need to give rocks about it, but at the end of the day, I think it's very important for you to know what those tariffs do, what they mean, and what it means to the greater economy. But most importantly, what does it mean for Bitcoin? In this video, we're going to delve right into that. So as you can see here, this is an update of the crypto market. 488 million has been liquidated from the crypto market in the last 24 hours, okay? Boom. Now, I like Trump's facial expression here because that is his purpose, is to get the US dollar down. So he's achieving his mandate. Now, the US stock market has lost approximately $2 trillion in value, largely due to recently imposed tariffs. This is the kind of blood on the streets that it caused. Now, isn't it interesting that Microsoft, Google, Meta, Apple, Nvidia, of course, are part of the Mega 7 and Amazon, and they are actually bleeding quite a substantial amount, right? So the fact that they are bleeding truly isn't the concern of America, okay? It's the concern of those particular stocks, and we'll touch base on that in a moment. But here is the full list of US trade tariffs by country. This will lead the US economic growth, Trump stated. So you can see here, China, the official tariff that the Chinese charge the US is 67%. The US has given a reciprocal tariff. What he's saying is because all of these countries are charging America tariffs and making big money off of America. By doing this, he's going to bring liquidity and money back into American economy, okay? Which stimulates the American economy, but at the same time will also weaken the dollar, which is his purpose. And so you can see the Europeans are very sticky at 39. USA 20. Vietnam is at 90%. I mean, look at this. Cambodia charged 97% tariffs. There's a 49% tariff on Cambodia. South Africa, that's my country, guys, charges a 60% tariff on America. They're being very kind and charging a 30% tariff to us. Now, that's bad for business because, I mean, I know that we're intending on doing business with America, and by way of that, it charges more. But the only people that truly are affected by this at this point are the end consumers. End of story. There's nobody else that's affected because businesses and governments pass those costs on to the end consumers, okay, who are actually bleeding like absolutely crazy already. So does it make a massive difference? I think it will. But you can see that all these countries around here have been absolutely obliterated, or they've obliterated America with tariffs, and America are being very, 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 the UAE, look at that, 10% and 10%. That's a fair rate because essentially it cancels it out. So why on earth would you go anywhere else but the simplicity of the tariff on China that stacks an existing 20%, bringing the total to 54%, whereas China's is like 69%. So it's a discounted rate. Of course, they're not going to just charge nothing. All right. But like I said to you, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on the stock market sell-off, it's a Mag 7 problem, not a MAGA problem, i.e. it's not Make America Great Again problem. It's the stocks of the Magnificent Seven. It's their problem, which I do agree with, and I'm happy for him to say that because, yes, tax and all the rest of that, income for the US government, but truly the fact that those stocks lose equity only affects the dollar and the way that the dollar trades, but it weakens the dollar and makes those stocks much more affordable for you and I to consume. Okay, so with that being said, we potentially, Polymarket has put out a potential of 47% chance of a US recession this year. This is massive. If this does happen, my friends, how prudent this is for you and I. Yes, our current bags might fucking bleed to death, okay? But at the end of the day, you will be able to, if you have any dry powder left, be able to buy all of this at massive, massive, massive discounts. Isn't that critical to your success and your financial future? The growth is giving you the potential to make more upside return. So I like Senator Loomis's bill where they want to exchange gold certificates, bring them up to current fair value market value, and then use that to buy Bitcoin, and thereby creating a 1 million Bitcoin reserve over 5 years. I think it's doable and I think it's possible. I believe the US gold bars are probably valued at approximately $48, if I'm correct, at this current point. Imagine that net gain on the upside of up to the $3,100 that gold is at this point. Well, that's huge upside for the potential to buy Bitcoin and not have to print money. But that sends the price of Bitcoin up, right? Without liquidity injection necessarily into the market by way of QE. And so I would caution you to exit your Bitcoin position at this point because we're in an accumulation zone. Whether we go up and down, I have shown this pattern here before. You can have a look at it here on my chart, okay? Ironically, there's the shoulder. Here's possibly this head here could really be extended to where we're at right now. And this could become the head, and then we could make a move up to become the shoulder. Who knows? And I believe that you should be absolutely using my Bybit link down below. Yes, my trade is still bleeding, okay? Ironically, it pushed up into the profit yesterday on the introduction of but then it had this massive candle, which is one of the biggest candles we've seen in a little while, other than kind of this area here. So, my friends, we've seen this happen to us before. It's not a bad point to accumulate Bitcoin, okay? Considering where we're at this point, we're literally tapping down on the same level here at the 81,000. So if we do happen to break down and any further, what would the next level be? You can see that but I will continue to accumulate if we continue to go further. And actually, I am going to be adding to my position later on this evening in this area. If we drop, all good, my friends. It's all freaking good. Okay. This is going to end up being quite a substantially beautiful trade. So if you want to use my Bybit link down below, grab yourself up to $30,000 deposit bonus and use that to trade, to get into Bitcoin, to buy whatever assets you need. Because right now, truly, we're going to see Bitcoin price fly to the moon And so even though people are bored, have a look at what's happening. I've showed you bullish divergence busy happening on the stochastic RSI too. My friends, we can chill, we can hang out, we can come down to 70,000, 69,000. It's not going to be a big deal. We're going back up. This is the biggest and most important time in all of our history regarding a financial instrument that can outperform anything else. Okay. So with that being said, you can see here that the next leg up on Bitcoin is coming. These are the EMA ribbons. And once they start to open up, they really get going. Okay. Now we're on the way up to potentially $220 plus $1,000. And I would heed caution because the MVRV has such high prevalent momentum that it's an unpopular opinion that Bitcoin could form a top at about 325K plus. According to the MVRV Z-score, the market peaked only when MVRV pushed and stayed for weeks above the 7.0, which is 3.8x from the current 86.5 thousand. So there's that level. You can see that we pushed all the way up into the 5 region up here. So if we were to do the same thing, imagine the price we could see in Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments regarding that. And here, once again, we can see the 300K potential level. Yes, we had a 32%, 30% here, but truly, those are just small little blips of air being released on the way up. Really just is what it is, and that is okay. Right now, while the fear and greed index is back in 25 zone and territory, my friends. Last month it was at 15. We know that that is a time to buy these assets. No financial advice, but truly, my friends, why would you be missing out on this? Because there is blood out in the streets, okay? There is massive blood out on the streets here, and that's an opportunity second to none. So why would you not be accumulating right here in this moment? And if you are still with me in this video, please go ahead, like the video, share the content with your friends and your families, and of course, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and the community. It truly helps my community grow. It helps my message spread out, and I know that I'm giving you guys absolutely brilliant and awesome content. Always consistent, always showing you the ropes. So for that, I would truly appreciate if you could join me in my community and let's get Bitcoin. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one.